All right, what's going on, people? JV Wins, Dogon SS. We are back once again with another edition of the Conscious Approach channel on YouTube. Much appreciation to everybody out there who's been hitting that subscribe button, leaving those comments, hitting that like button if you are so inclined, following along with us as we continue to kick this logical content over here in our little corner of the internet. Want to get things started off by saying we are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well as Amazon Podcasts. So if you are not in a position to check out the videos, but you like to listen to content in audio form, you can now check us out on all of those relevant podcast channels. So just trying to be any and everywhere. Want to be available any and everywhere for people who want to be able to catch us, check out the content. We certainly appreciate the support as we continue to rock and roll. If this is your first time catch a win of what we like to do here on this channel, this is pretty much what we do each and every week, each and every day, each and every upload. So thank you very much for your interest. Leave a comment, let us know what you think. And otherwise, hit that subscribe button. Don't be foolish. Hit that subscribe button because this is pretty much how we roll. So thank you in advance to all those who have not done so but will. And of course, thank you to everyone who has already done so and continues to ride with us as we continue to curate our little corner of the universe over here. Now, with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get things kicked off. First thing that we are going to discuss is an ancillary conversation coming out of the Super Bowl. No, it is not the halftime show, although there are plenty of videos and content creators telling everybody how lame and dumb they are because they don't get Kendrick's symbolism. So I've been seeing a lot of that. I don't know if you've been seeing any of that, but I've been seeing a lot of that where people are jumping online to tell everyone else how dumb they are. Yeah, how dumb they are because they don't get symbolism. That's not what we're going to do here, at least not right now, at least not today. But we are going to talk about GloRilla, who made a tongue-in-cheek little video essentially saying that she lost a lot of money as a result of the Super Bowl. And in order to recoup, she wants to know if anyone is looking for some box for sale because she got it. Whoa. So yeah, she went there. So we'll go ahead and we'll provide a little context real quick first.
Okay, as we do that though, man, let's get our conscious approach live stream stuff kicking in the back. You know what I'm saying? The like and subscribe button up top. You know, we got that on deck.
Do we got that? What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about the
overlay thing, man. So we get that.
How did it go away? I don't even know how it went away.
Oh man, so it just dipped out on us, bro.
I don't somehow, some way, I must have hit the button.
Okay, there we go. Hey, yeah, man, neon lights, man. It's like we're in Vegas now.
Oh, okay, I could have sworn it was already clicked. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, man, who knows, bro?
But yeah, so moving along, this says play all day. GloRilla cracks risque joke about losing this much money on Kansas City Chiefs bet. Like more than a few celebs, GloRilla popped out for the 59 Super Bowl in New Orleans on Sunday. She was rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs to win. In the end, the Philadelphia Eagles got the W by 18 points, leaving GloRilla $128,000 in debt. While still at the game, Glo joked about what she'd have to do to pay it off. The rapper wore a red Adidas tracksuit with a stylish swoop bang and bone straight inches while enjoying the game. In a video she posted to social media, Megan Thee Stallion was in the same private suite. Her money was on the Eagles, but Glo was confidently rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs in a video with Meg. That confidence slowly started to slip away as the Eagles' defensive line did their thing. On X, she was popping off about how it was unfolding. Put me in the game, coach. A goddamn shame, man. By the end of the night, the smile sis had in the beginning wasn't looking the same. In an update video, she told her fans that she's now over 100,000 bands in debt. Guys, I just lost a lot of money on this game. I lost $128,000 on this game. If anybody looking for ass, I got it for sale. So
Wow.
GloRilla didn't specify who exactly she owes that much bread to, but Megan Thee Stallion has already put her hand out for hers. After the Super Bowl was over, Meg hopped on X and hit Glow with the "Where's my money?" Her bet was on the Eagles. The rapper replied, "Already landed back in Memphis." So there's that exchange there. Meanwhile, the roommates are sounding off about what it must be like to lose that many racks and keep it moving. Others joked about Glow giving Megan her coins. I can't wait to casually lose 125K and not trip. I lost $40 at the casino and still mad about it, laughing my ass off. I can only imagine over 120K. My girl said, "Baby, I'm already at home." How rich you got to be to not crash out after losing that much? I still ain't recovered from the $50 I lost the other day.
Hmm.
Glow said, "Come to Memphis to get it." This is why I don't bet on things beyond my control. So that was some of the people commenting. Girl, she didn't ask for your location. She said, "Where's her coins?"
Hmm.
So that's some of the reaction. And we're actually going to play a sound, or rather some audio,
Nice.
brief snippet of Glow, basically letting us know what her plan is for getting over this $128,000 loss.
No,
So
brother.
here is the plan from the horse's mouth herself.
Uh,
Guys, I just lost a lot of money on this game. I lost $128,000 on this game. If anybody looking for ass, I got it for sale.
So for anybody who didn't catch that last part, she said, "If anybody looking for ass, I got it for sale." So I thought that this was pretty humorous, and wanted to bring this up to get your take on that. Do you think she was being serious, even if she was joking? What do you make of the fact that that's where she went when talking about how much money she lost on the game?
well, I mean, I don't really know how serious to take her because she doesn't have any ass to sell. I'll start there. Okay. Second of all, this ain't no damn joke. Okay. In the sense of she's willing to do this. In the sense of she'll try to take somebody up on their offer for the box. I think she would actually legitimately do that if she hasn't already been doing that so far in her life. You know what I'm saying? And then finally is you know you got to do a lot of ass selling to make up that much money because yeah, and this is no knock. She didn't ask how to be, to look this way. But, she's not really the kind you spend that kind of money on. So she would have to turn a lot of those tricks in order to make that back. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like 128,000 of them. In order to make that back. All right. So sorry, GloRilla. All right. I know she's got some stands out there that would love to take her for a spin, but overall, I'm not buying this. But I think that she is I think it's both, man. I think it's that plausible deniability stuff. Hey, I was just joking, but I'm kind of serious. There's somebody out there willing to give me 40 racks, you know. And so yeah, I think she really meant that, man. And when it comes to 128, listen, I believe in NFL collusion more than anybody else. But if somebody said that you could put 128,000 on the Chiefs, I still would have been a little sketched out, man. I don't know how I would have felt about that before the Super Bowl. Would you, if you asked me who you think's going to win, I was like, you know what, the Eagles should win, but I think the
Right.
Chiefs are going to win.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so but that's what I think. I'm not going to sit here and put money on that. And I agree with all those people in the comment section, man. When I do my little prize picks and it's Flex Friday, and they give you a little coupon where it's like a protected pick, so you could put up to $20 for protected, and if you don't win anything, they'll give you $20 like store credit in a little thing, so you could just spend that again some other way. So, but when I put that little 20 on a little bet, and I'm trying to cash out for $500 something, You know what I'm saying? And I don't win that. I'm pissed off. And it's a protected pick.
Yeah.
She lost 128 racks. She ain't making that much money. I'm sorry, she's not. So for her to first thing to pop out of her brain, is that she's selling ass. First of all, shows you where her mind's at. And second of all, it's yeah, that shows you how much trouble she's in. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts, man, on GloRilla? Around here trying to sell box for 128 racks. What are your thoughts, bro?
I generally agree with you on the tongue in cheek, like, yeah, I'm joking, but also not really.
Yeah.
Because I think, she put it out there and said it because, yeah, that is her outlook on life, generally, her mentality. All you got to do is listen to her music.
Disgusting.
But the plausible deniability can creep in where she can say, "Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
was just talking mess." But then if there is somebody who is like, "Yo, I'll front you that 128 if you willing to give me some of that box,"
Yikes.
there's a chance that she'll say yes. So
A
from
chance.
that, yeah, yeah. So from that standpoint, I do think that to a certain extent it was a joke, but then it also wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, my whole question is the fact that my point rather, is the fact that she went there.
Yeah.
I thought that that was interesting. It reminded me of when women started to like, and again, I'm not trying to make more out of this than what it is. Like I thought that it was a funny thing that she said, so I'm not trying to get too introspective or philosophical here. I'm not trying to really go that deep, but I did think it was interesting that she went there because it reminded me of when, remember back when video, like gaming, for example, was pretty much exclusively a male dominated space.
Mm-hmm.
But we started to see women uh, essentially infiltrate these some of these male dominated spaces. So
Mm-hmm.
you started to see more and more women come in to be gaming streamers. And you saw more women showing up on other guys' streams who are gamers just to be around. And we started seeing women show up at video game conventions more and more. And we started seeing women show up at events like Comic-Con, for example. Not to say that women weren't always interested in video games or comics or conventions of that nature, but it's always been a majority male dominated space.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, like in the early 2000s on, we started to see more women with a greater presence in these male dominated spaces. But I started to see women occupy their place within these male dominated spaces, not as fellow gamers or comic book enthusiasts, but as like sex objects. So I would see like female streamers who are on Twitch or whatever streaming while they're playing a video game, but they're like wearing lingerie
Mm-hmm.
and they're wearing like negligee and they're wearing like short shorts, booty shorts, or they're wearing like yoga pants or leggings, clearly accentuating all of their features. Or I would see women at Comic-Con, for example, but they're cosplaying, and of course the outfit that they're cosplaying is a sexy outfit. It's skin tight, form fitting. It accentuates all of their best features. They're showing a whole lot of cleavage. They're wearing top notch makeup. They're there to look good and be sexy. And I always thought that that was interesting that, in this day and age where it's like women in their own right have a right to be in these same spaces because yeah, there's no law or mandate which says women can or cannot play video games, can or cannot read comic books, can or cannot attend events like there used to be the big video game expo, E3. There
Mm-hmm.
used to be the video game expo called E3 before they shut it down for good. It was like a week long video game expo. It was like the biggest event for gaming enthusiasts and video game companies. It was a big showroom, and all of the new and latest and greatest video games and consoles were on display at these events.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an appetite for women to be at these various venues, but they would occupy these spaces in a very sexualized manner.
Aha.
And I always thought that that was very interesting. Like, what is the overall point of them being in these male dominated spaces? Is it to be gamers or is it to be sexy? And so that's what this reminded me of, because I get it. The NFL, football, sports in general does have a lot of female fans. I'm not going to besmirch that. And I'm not
Mhm.
trying to suggest that it shouldn't be that way. Everybody can like football, everybody can like sports, everybody can like the NFL for sure. But that's just what this reminded me of. My mind went there, where this female rapper, you know, once again, a woman who occupies a particular place within what is still, for the most part, a male dominated space, that being hip hop music, is attending the biggest sporting event in probably the world, definitely in this country, the
Mhm.
Super Bowl, which does have a great deal of female fans, but I would still say statistically remains a majority male dominated space. And when she is expressing dismay over how much money she's lost, the knee jerk reaction is to go to something sexual. So, you can take that whichever way you want. I thought that that was relatively interesting, but it did remind me of cosplayers, video game streamers who are women, these chicks who started showing up in YouTube video game streams or Twitch streams. And I feel as though there was more attention to being paid. There was more attention being paid to how they looked, how they were dressed, and how their bodies were, more so than how good they were at playing The Legend of Zelda. And in my opinion, it had nothing much to do with the fact that males were just being misogynistic and only commenting on their looks, and more to do with the fact that I felt as though they were purposefully attracting that kind of attention because of the way that they chose to dress while they were streaming,
Mhm.
and because of the way that they chose to how they looked, whether the and because of the way that they chose to how they chose to look, and the fact that they chose to be dolled up. I didn't think that streaming Legend of Zelda required you to be wearing lingerie or booty shorts, but apparently
You'd
it
be
does.
surprised, bro.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I didn't know that, but apparently it does. So those are my thoughts on that. That's what it reminded me of. Female sexualization within a male dominated space. Again, I'm not trying to go galaxy brain with this, because it doesn't have to have a deeper meaning, but that is what it reminded me of, because these things did happen. Suddenly I went from being a gamer enthusiast to wondering why I was looking at, you know, um, not necessarily sex workers, but women who were definitely upplaying sex and sexuality in front of me at some of these male dominated spaces and venues. So that was pretty much what I thought about that.
Yeah, right on, man. I didn't think about that, but I could see your angle there. And I know one thing that this is telling me is that her rap game can't get 128K. She should have recouped that after a few shows. That would have been a easy flex. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing she reverted to was, I can't make this back off rap. I don't make enough off of that. I would have to sell box in order to do that. But
Right. It's
even
not like, yeah, it's not like she said, does anybody, she, not that she would do this, but you could have went any direction, right? She could have been like, anybody looking for anybody, she could have done that. That's what Drake would have did.
yeah,
Drake
it's an
would have been,
easy flex.
yeah, Drake would have been like, I'll make that back next week. Like most of these rappers would be like, oh, I'll make that back, I'll do a couple shows and I'm back on top. But it's like she knee jerk went to the box game.
Right, man. So whether she was like, "Oh, y'all tripping," I was just joking. I got that in my other account, and it's like, okay, well, shoot, you know what I'm saying? But 128 that's nothing to six figures in general. I mean, that's nothing to to scoff at, man. That's a lot of money. So, but yeah, and that's my thing. If that's your jerk reaction to making a joke, that's pretty morbid. If you ask me. So yeah. All in all, I just think that yeah, she went to what she knows best, and that shows how much she thinks of herself. And if she ever finds herself in a bind, the first thing she'll do is try to sell her cat, and that's my problem overall with it. I would say, or for anybody else that thinks like her, you know. But yeah, man, this is wild stuff, and good luck trying to make that. That's what I'm saying. It's like she could try, and call herself a high end one because she's a celebrity. Like, who's really going to be paying her for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you would be able to pay for GloRilla because that's her price tag because I'm GloRilla. It's like, girl, please. You know what I'm saying? You know, if somebody's in the business of buying, you know, the cat at high prices, you know, you can get 2 or 3 OF models for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can all join in at the same time instead of dealing with GloRilla with her pinched pelvis. So her no hips ass can get the hell out of here, man. So sorry, GloRilla.
Yeah.
You're not getting any of my cash.
Yeah. I feel that. You know, last thing that I'll say, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm not going to mention any names, but I do know a couple of women that I've known um, who have said to me, you know, like in so many words, they've been like, man, you know, why am I doing all of this hard work? You know, why am I even bothering with this? Looking for jobs, working for a living. I'm tired of this. I'm gonna just do what these other girls are doing. I'm gonna just start OnlyFans, and I'm gonna just start, you know, essentially selling ass. Now, the women I've known who have communicated this to me, they've stressed that they're not going to go so far as to become a full on.
Yeah, that's what they say. It.
Right. Yeah, that's my thing. So like they've said that they won't go so far as to become a full-on corn star where
Mm-hmm.
they're actually doing the deed on camera.
Right,
But
right.
my response to that has always been, how do you know? Like
Exactly.
like when after you've made your first two, three, four, $5,000 and you get that itch and you know that you can make 5, 10, 20, 30 times that by going there, how do you know you won't go there? How do you know? You can never say what you won't do until you're in a position to do it. And then how you respond or react to it is what the truth actually is.
Mm-hmm.
But I've known a couple females who have said that to me. And these are women who have worked hard, gotten educated, raised the way that you would want them to be raised, two-parent household, involved parents, all that good stuff. Didn't grow up in a crazy background or environment, none of that kind of stuff. They grew up, quote unquote, right, for lack of a better way to express that. And still in all, the prospect of becoming a sex worker to make more money by doing far less work and having more agency over your time is something that they have seriously considered doing. One of them actually started doing it. So I actually know somebody who started doing this. And if you talk to either one of these women, they'll tell you all day, every day about how they rebuke modern they'll talk all day about how they rebuke modern patriarchal and misogynistic male dominated culture, which looks to see them as nothing more than a walking giant vagina serving at the whim of men who only look at them as sexual objects. And I was always right with them philosophically. I get it. You know, we need to, get up out of that energy. But then you also talk about how you're considering doing OnlyFans to be able to free yourself. So I kind of felt like in that instance, it was a situation of, once again, people trying to have their cake and eat it too. You would like to wax poetically about how you envision the world being a better place, but then you also want to leverage the world for what it is for your own purposes in order for you to be able to gain financially. Well, which is it? And at this point, I'm not talking about GloRilla. I'm just speaking in general. Like,
Mm-hmm.
which is it? Are you above the fray, and you rebuke, the patriarchy, and you rebuke misogyny, or do you seek to gain from it and benefit from it by making money off of it? One would suggest that if you rebuke it truly, then you wouldn't, alleviate yourself of those principles and decide to get into the mud with those other girls who do it too. But like I've always said, life is nuanced. It is a gray. It is matters of gray. It is not matters of black and white. And you do have situations where people will try to leverage certain situations and environments to their betterment and advantage, despite the fact that they pay lip service to philosophically being opposed to those very same things. So there's a lot going on with that particular angle of the conversation, but that's kind of what this stuff reminded me of. Because you'll have the same people who have problems with certain things, but then they will try to benefit from them. I mentioned that with Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor takes advantage of every opportunity she can to talk about how her work ethic and her drive and her education got her to the point in her career, yet she's also embroiled in controversy over claims that she leveraged her vagina to get to certain points in her career. So you can believe what you want and take things with a grain of salt if you like, but there are a lot of people in this world who are trying to have their cake and eat it too, trying to have it both ways. And it's just a matter of perspective in terms of what side of the aisle you fall on. But her comments defaulting to that as her joke when she could have made her joke in a litany of other ways reminded me of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, good luck to those women out there that live that double life style. That had that double minded situation going on where they hate the patriarchy so much, but they're willing to make money off of it. But it's probably that weird thing of it's going to be around, so it's kind of like how what drug dealers feel. Well, they're going to buy it anyway. I might as well make money off of it. So that's probably where their mindset is as a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And
Well, they literally are selling drugs.
it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So so why are they held at a high esteem, right? And what was the last thing I was say? Oh yeah. And GloRilla, just holler at Lil Wayne. And you know what I'm saying? Tell him to get you in contact with Skip, because I heard Skip is paying upwards to $1 million for box. So you know what I'm saying? If you gonna pay $1 million, you know what I'm saying, he can shoot you 500,000. So holla at Skip Bayless, man. I heard he's what's that, John of the Year. So go holla at him. Unbelievable.
GloRilla gonna get on that Skip Bayless retainer.
Hey man, he all wrinkly, but you know what I'm saying, you would have made your money back from that game. And honestly, hey, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even put $128 on that. As much as I talk smack about the NFL, as much as I think they collude for the Chiefs, I never know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hope that that's a lesson learned. Putting six figures on a game, girl, you out of pocket. You know what I'm saying?
She trying to ride with the Joneses, bro. Because you look at people. Drake is a degenerate gambler.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of money Drake loses betting on sports is atrocious. He can make a whole entire family generationally wealthy with the amount of money that he has lost on sporting events. He lost an absurdly high amount of money on the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, I think it was. And he just doesn't care because he's reached that crescendo in his life of just being ultimately wasteful. So when you get into that pocket of living, these people don't care. They don't have perspective. She's trying to get to the point where 128K is going to eventually become 500K because that's just what happens, man.
Damn. Hey, good luck to you. Hey, I love to gamble just as much as the next person, especially on sports. But golly, you know what I'm saying? Get some help. That's too much money. That's too much money, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Shouts out to GloRilla. Good luck. Good luck selling that box to make that money back.
Damn.